actually doing what I termed at the time veganic gardening. Somehow the phrase doesn't really appeal to me, but actually I realised that's what I was doing, and sometime later I got on the web and I realised I wasn't the only one. And so basically that's the type of gardening I do, and it basically revolves around giving as little harm to animals as possible anywhere along the way. And that's the basis of my talk today. Bearing in mind, these all help to make up, they're of course quite essential. So you'll be amazed really how simple it is to do gardening the way I do. In a natural ecosystem, the soils are getting fertilised, whatever type of ecosystem it is. Our problem is that if, for example, you're growing a whole lot of, the market gardeners are growing a whole lot of celery, or whatever it is, or even in your own garden, you're then going to harvest all these things. They've all gone. So there's nothing going into that soil. We've broken the nutrient cycle which exists here. There is no cycle here. Okay? So all we're trying to do is to get organic matter into the soil. We've got our organic matter, or we've got our fertiliser catered for. We don't have to buy in any from the gardening store, or buy any, do you understand? So we're generating it ourselves, we're not impacting on the environment outside of where we live, and we haven't hurt any animal along the way. But also, one of the other things commercially especially, is to accept things that aren't quite perfect. And having said that, the produce I get from my garden is often extremely perfect, so you don't need to think you're going to get a second-rate item. The day I realised what I was doing, that I was actually keeping on going, all these myths about buying bags of manure, you actually don't need it. And then plus, you don't know where it's coming from, you have no idea, And you end up eating at the top of the food chain, you're eating all this stuff, And you don't need to, and you can save your money and do something else with it. And the animals are happy.